Well, I'm going to show you how I make my mason jar lights. I have painted the inside of a jar and it's completely dry. It helps with the lights. It gives it a nicer, softer, flickering light. And I've chosen this crab napkin. It's 3-ply, so it's important to remove the extra ply. I already know that this will wrap around very nicely, and it does fit. So we're going to put that over here till we're ready for it. And now I'm going to coat this jar in decoupage Mod Podge. Not too heavy. You want it to stick, but you don't want it to slide. So I'm going very lightly, not overly thick. In this case, for this coat, less is better. A little bit more. The Mod Podge dries translucently. It's matte. I'm also going to make sure I get a little bit on the bottoms here. Okay. I'm going to go around the top so I can make sure there's no blobs. Now I'm going to take what I want to be the front of this jar, and I see there's a little thickness right there. There. I'm going to take our napkin, and I'm going to center it how I think it should be. Oh, shoot. All right, we're going to go ahead and pop that on there. And then I'm going to stretch it over until we come to the other side, very slowly and carefully. And you'll see there's an overlap. But we don't want to attach it with the overlap because it'll look like it's got a seam. So what I do, I will take water and go right about here, down. Don't want to chop off too much of the crab. There. And by doing that, it gives me a nice jagged edge. And it looks much more natural that way. I'll bring it up, and now just gently, ever so gently, tap it. Can't even see where it was attached. And I will then take the Mod Podge and just go over the seam, give that a chance. The next thing I do is I'm going to cut around the neck of the jar so that we don't have a bunch of paper all bunched up. There we go. This little piece doesn't want to cooperate. Gotcha. Okay. And let's pull this off. And then I'm going to real carefully tap it up here. There we go. Okay. That's done. And then on the bottom, I'm just going to go like this. Real careful. Get it so that it's adhering to the curve of the bottle, the jar. All right. Next step is covering. Oops, I'm dripping here. Is covering the jar. And we're going to give it a nice, even, careful coat. If you go too slow and you put too much, the napkin will it's become very saturated and become very difficult to work with. It'll start tearing and moving all around. So that's why I do just a little at a time. And I also make sure if I see any like little parts that might stick out, like a seam, I'm going to push it down with my finger that's wet with the decoupage. So here we're going to go through this whole bottle. So we have this completely coated in decoupage. Now my next step is decorating it. I like to do this part, even though it's still wet, I'm just going to be real careful. Okay. So what we've got here is some twine that I use for all my crab jars. So we're going to hold that in place. And we're just going to spin this jar around. And as you can see, we're going to have a really nice little collar around the neck here. And I just keep spinning until I feel we have enough. I think we're going to go one more time around. There we go. Okay. Then I'll take my scissors and just snip it and hold it in place and use my glue gun. Put the teeny tiniest itsy bitsy bit of glue on there. There we go. And so I don't burn my fingers, I'm going to take this paintbrush and use it to hold it in place. There we go. All right, so now what we have are these adorable little crab mallets. And I like to take the twine and make a little knot around the mallet. I use my glue gun to put a little bit to hold the twine on. Again, being careful not to burn my fingers, because let me tell you, I have burned my fingers. My hands are a mess. I usually have a beautiful manicure, but nope, not now. All right, so I am now going to put a blob of glue right there, and I'm going to attach the little mallet, and we'll have to hold it there for a bit. Oh, come on, get up there. I'm gonna hold you there until you're ready. There we go. And then I take, let's see if I can pull this. There we go. Then I take the twine and I go around another time. Come on, you can get down there. That's the way you go. Get that twine down there. Bring it around carefully. Make sure it's where I want it to be. Yep. And then I'm gonna, again, a little spot of glue, and take my scissors and snip it off. Okay. Get all those strings. And that's what it looks like right now. And then take a little piece of my twine. God, I got glue all over my fingers. Looks like my fingers are peeling. Oh well, they're terrible. I gotta get a manicure when this is done. So now I'm making a little bow. And tie it like this. Give it a little pull. Make sure I like the way it looks. And then another little drop of glue. Okay, and he is done. Just pop that on there and hold him. Put that little bow on there. Ouch. Okay, and I'll trim this just a little bit. And there we have it. And I am going to put the lid on. And there's our finished product. We now have our mason jar light. And with each light, I put one of these in it. As you can see, it flickers. They last for a long time. That goes in. And then I'm going to put it over here to dry with the other one that's drying. It's not finished yet. There we go. And that's it.